Hey YouTube, Sean Kiefer here, back with another video. This is Better Black Man, my YouTube channel where I talk about passion, productivity, and practicality. In this particular video, I'm gonna be touching on something that I've been very intrigued with recently. I'm gonna be talking about the future, gonna be talking about Web 3.0. Web 3.0 or Web 3 is something that is currently going on in society, currently going on in the world, that I think everybody should pay attention to because it's going to affect how we interact with each other. It's going to affect how we use the internet. It's going to affect everything. You know, not to be super dramatic, but it's something that, in my opinion, is just, it's going to change the way that we live life. It's very much a paradigm shift going on in society and in the world, and specifically with the internet, with the advancement of technologies like blockchain, AI, cryptocurrencies, and things like that. And Web 3.0 is the driving force behind a lot of that, along with blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So my channel being all about things that I'm passionate about, things to help people be more productive and things that help people's productivity, I thought it was fitting to touch on something that I have just been researching and learning more about, and I wanted to share it with you all out there, just in case you were intrigued about it or if you heard these terms being thrown around. The thing about it is that Web 3.0 is here, but it's very much still in the incubator and early stages, but it is moving extremely fast and rapidly and growing, and I just want to touch on that in this video. So if you're interested in that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Web 3.0 is the newest iteration version of what we know as the World Wide Web, or what we consider the internet. It's all about being decentralized. It's all about protecting your data. It's all about removing the big corporations and that centralization and putting that power back into the users of it. And there's just a ton of technology that's going to make the user experience of the internet better. There's also advancements in technology that's going to allow things like the metaverse and augmented reality and virtual reality, which I'll make a video on some other time. But before I can really dive into and talk about some of the features and some of the benefits of Web 3.0, I think it's important that we take a look at the past, that we go back and we look at the progression of the internet. We look at the progression of the web. We look at Web 1.0 and 2.0. Web 1.0 was AOL dial-up. I'm old enough to remember this, if you can even call it that, internet. Looking at these huge computers, I'm just laughing just thinking about it. You know, imagine an internet where you can send an email, but you can't attach a picture or a file document. That's Web 1.0. It was static pages where information was put on the internet for you to view, but you couldn't interact with it. A lot of people refer to it as read-only internet. You know, corporations and entities, people who had access to put this information out there for you to consume. It was very passive. It was mainly for consuming. Websites and things like that would put information out there, and then you as a consumer would consume this information. So it was revolutionary at the time because it was basically like a library, or like a large Wikipedia connected with hyperlinks. You know, you no longer had to go to the library and check out a book to get information. You could go on the internet and look up information. This internet existed between the years of 1990 and around 2004. So that's pretty much Web 1.0. Fast forward a little bit further into the future, like early to mid 2000s, and we really got to see Web 2.0, which is what we currently are accustomed to and use today. Web 2.0 introduced the interaction of users. It really blurred the lines between users and consumers because platforms started to develop like YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, where users could put out content and it was consumed by other users, and it was, shouldn't say it was, but it very much is very interactive. I can interact with you through YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. There's all these different platforms where users can interact. The term content creator developed because, as I'm doing literally right now, I'm able to create content and put it out on the internet. That was the big thing that Web 2.0 introduced and that we benefit from tremendously with Web 2.0. The problem with Web 2.0 and why we are moving on past that is centralization. That's one of the big things, is that these large corporations like Facebook and Google, by us interacting consistently and putting out information about our everyday lives, they are harvesting our data, they're collecting our data, and they're benefiting tremendously from that free data that they're getting, and they're getting it in abundance. It's a ton of data that they're receiving and collecting, and they're selling that data to advertisers. We don't have as much control over our data, and there's these huge centralized corporations who can also censor us. So if I go on Twitter and say something that's offensive to a group of people or whatever, I could be potentially banned from Twitter, or my Instagram account could get taken down, or a video that I put out on YouTube could be taken down. So you see the problem there is, like, although we have this internet that we can interact with each other and things like that, it's still massively controlled by large corporations, entities that are centralized. And it's also an issue with data as well, because, for instance, like if a hacker wants to hack millions of people's information or hack your information specifically, they can just hack Facebook. If Facebook gets hacked, there's millions and millions of people's information on Facebook, countless amount of data that's on these platforms. There's concerns with data and the safety and security of your information and your data, and there's also that censorship. Those are probably the two main issues with Web 2.0 and why we have finally moved on to Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is very much the future of the internet and where we are headed, to a completely decentralized internet where one corporation, one centralized entity or mega tech company is not going to have the ability to harvest and own your data. With technologies like blockchain and cryptocurrencies, you will have the ability to have control over your own data and determine and decide how it's used, and if you want to be completely anonymous, or if you want to share that data, who you share with, who's using it, what they're using it for. Some of the other benefits of Web 3.0 is with the development and the heavy use of AI or artificial intelligence, it's going to rely heavily on machine learning. It's going to have a better understanding of words and even the meaning behind the words. There's a huge human element still within Web 2.0 where things can be altered or it can be manipulated for someone's benefit. For instance, with things like Amazon reviews on certain products and things like that, if you develop a new product for Amazon, you can get a group of people to pretty much fuzz the numbers to create fake reviews for your product to give it like a higher rating, which will in turn entice more people to pick your product over other products. With Web 3.0 and the AI behind it, it's going to be able to completely decipher whether these reviews or situations like this is going to be able to tell the real from the fake. You're going to be able to get faster and more relevant results when you search things. A lot of Web 3.0 is already here, and a lot of the technologies that are going to be on the platform and benefit tremendously, things like augmented reality, which allows us to merge the digital world and the physical world together. Things like IoT or Internet of Things, which allows us to connect everyday items like our vacuum or our refrigerator or our washing machine to the internet. It's estimated that by 2030, 100 billion devices will be connected to the internet. That outnumbers the human race like 10-1. We are in the future. Like, so funny, I was having this conversation with my cousin and I was just like, yo, I can't remember the last time a human actually checked me out when I went to like Target or CVS, which is down the street. Self-driving cars, the list goes on. But Web 3.0, super exciting, super crazy, maybe a little scary for some people. All my entrepreneurs out there, all my go-getters, the amount of opportunities that are gonna come with this advancement in technology, and it's happening right now. Things like NFTs, all the different cryptocurrencies and projects that are being developed in the metaverse, it's happening right now. So go out there, do your research, do your Googles, and buckle up and get ready, because here we are. If you liked this video and thought it was informative and you enjoy the content, please drop this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. This is Better Black Man, where we talk about passion, productivity, and practicality. My name is Sean Kiefer. Peace.